Effect of water pollutants part 2. The next effect is that of sewage and domestic waste. Domestic sewage is primarily composed of spent water containing wine, feces, soapy wastes, food materials, and paper, which makes the water extremely anesthetic. Sewage containing oxidizable and fermentable matter causes depletion of dissolved oxygen in the receiving water bodies, affecting the aquatic flora severely. This leads to oxygen deficiency, which also leads to the production of objectionable odors in water. Due to the evolution of putrefied gases, the solid wastes are buoyed up by these gases, resulting in offensive foul matters floating on water surfaces. Presence of solid matter floating in suspension, colloidal and pseudocolloidal dispersion in sewage creates serious water problems. Accumulation of sewage and domestic waste in water bodies retards the self regulatory capabilities of aquatic organisms. Self purifying ability of water is lost and it becomes unfit for domestic purposes. Also, the decomposition of waste by aerobic microbes decreases due to extreme pollution. Sewage from different cities in India has a high value of BOD, that is biological oxygen demand, because water used for treating flushing system is less than that used in developed countries. Another problem is the high grit content in water, which is caused by using sand for which creates hindrances at inlets of treatment plants. Effects of synthetic detergents. Detergent enzymes are potential allergens and they cause serious complications when they penetrate the body through wounds or cuts in people allergic to them. Complex formation between nitrilo-triacetate uh, and mercury or cadmium increases the possibilities of transmission across the placental barrier into a fetus, thereby increasing the likelihood of birth defects. Phosphate, which is a major ingredient of most detergents, favors the luxuriant growth of algae which forms algal blooms. This extensive growth of algae consumes most of the available oxygen from water. This depletion in oxygen level is detrimental to the growth of aquatic organisms, which produces a foul smell upon decay. Such decomposing waters produce toxins such as strychnine, which kills animals. Detergents also increase the concentration of soluble salts in addition to the toxicity caused by the surface active materials. The surface active ingredients, which are not easily degradable, produce nuisance at sewage works by creating foam and froth. The aquatic flora and fauna are also destroyed due to this toxicity of these foams. Although detergents are not very highly toxic to fishes, they cause damage to their gills and removes protective mucus from gills, skin and intestine. Alkyl benzene sulfonates kill several species of mayfly nymphs when they are exposed to 15 ppm for 10 days. Aquatic invertebrates are also severely affected by detergents. Greyfish are reduced in numbers by 15 days exposure to 10 ppm of toxic effluent. Effects of pathogens. Parasites are considered harmful or they are considerably harmful for man. Eggs of nematodes, hookworms, and tapeworms occur mostly in crude sewage. When such sewages are discharged into water bodies without treatment, contamination of water occurs with resultant danger to both human and aquatic life. The enteric diseases are transmitted mainly by drinking contaminated water or swallowing food. The pathogens most frequently transmitted through water cause infections of intestinal tract like typhoid, paratyphoid, amoebic dysentery, cholera, polio, and infectious hepatitis. The disease causing organisms are present in the feces of infected people and they get ultimately mixed with the water supply, spreading chronic diseases. Intestinal helminthus, that is Ascaris lumbricoides, also waterborne. Entamoeba histolytica is the causal agent which causes internal amoebiasis and several extraintestinal diseases. The guinea worm is responsible for dracontiasis and is transmitted through open village wells and ponds infested with the copepod intermediate host. Effects of radioactive pollutants in water. Living organisms are considered as the best host or prey for radioactive contaminants in water. As compared to organic poisons, injurious effects of radionuclides are exceedingly high. Radioactive contaminants deposit on surface and groundwater. This water, consumed by plants during photosynthesis, acts as a medium for radioactivity in them. In living organisms, radiation produces a whole host of extremely hazardous species like H plus, H2, H2O minus, H2O plus, etc., causing severe effects. The radioactive materials in water react with proteins of aquatic invertebrates and deactivate enzymes by breaking the bond between sulfur, hydrogen, and sulfur, that is SHS hydrogen bonds. With enzyme inhibition, cell growth may continue but cell division may be stopped. In aquatic animals, radiation damages cell membranes which are permeable so that abnormal interchange of materials through an imperfect cell membrane results in temporary or permanent injury. Ionizing radiations in water results in cellular damage. When a water molecule in the cell is irradiated, an electron is knocked out of the orbit. This ejected electron then attaches to a normal water molecule, making it unstable. It splits into a proton, a hydroxyl anion, and free radicals. These free radicals react with various molecules in the cell which no longer function normally and they ultimately die. Traces of radioactive materials present in water cause cancers, leukemia, cataract, DNA breakage, and carcinoma in man. Effects of eutrophication. Eutrophication is the process of aging of lake, mainly by nutrient enrichment. This is called as natural eutrophication. Eutrophication causes several physical, chemical, and biological changes which considerably deteriorate the water quality. During eutrophication, algal bloom releases toxic chemicals which kills fish, birds, and other aquatic animals, causing the water to become smelly. Decomposition of algal bloom leads to oxygen depletion in water. Thus, with a high carbon dioxide level and poor oxygen supply, aquatic organisms die and the clean water turns into a stinking drain. When oxygen level falls to zero, some bacteria drive oxygen through reduction of nitrates. On complete exhaustion of nitrates, oxygen as a last resort is obtained by reduction of sulfate, yielding hydrogen sulfide, causing foul smell, and the taste of water gets bad. Pathogenic microbes, viruses, protozoa, and bacteria grow on sewage products under anaerobic conditions. It results into spread of fatal waterborne diseases such as polio, dysentery, diarrhea, typhoid, and viral hepatitis. Algae and diatoms attain high degree of dominance due to over fertilization. Macrophytes, particularly Hydrilla, ceratophyllum, assume high population densities, making near shore and shallow regions unsuitable for any purposes. During eutrophication, midge, Chironomus plumosus, and tubificid worms develop extremely high populations, creating anesthetic and economic problems in water.